Hi guys, it's Corrine, and here I have a brand new page in my new book. I'm so excited to be working out of a new book. I just finished the My Crush Smash Book series, and I did a video of a flip through on that. So if you're interested, check that out. This here is again from the My Crush series, and it's from close to my heart. And this one is called the Maudeville book. A very, very sweet lady sent this to me, and I love it. I love every single page in it. So I'm excited to get started with it. What I decided from my last book is in this book, I'm going to tear out pages and incorporate them back into the book, hoping to save a little bit on the bulk of the book. I don't mind the smash books being bulky. I think it adds to the character of them, but I do want it to somewhat close. So I figured I would rip pages out or cut pages out and add them back onto other pages like I'm doing here with that number strip. Here's a piece of paper I had in my stash, and I know that the smash books are 6.5 wide, so um, I cut it to 6.5, and I think I cut it to 4.5 tall. I'm not quite sure. I just eyeballed that. And here I'm using a photo. It's a Instagram photo actually, and it's of this great watermelon that we've been eating for the last week. We bought 4 large watermelons. They were just so good, so I wanted to document that. And the photo I printed out, it's a 4 by 4. The small page um, that I'm using behind the photo is actually from my last Smash book. It's a scrap that I wanted to save. These here are journaling cards from Recollections. I pull out that one because I thought it was so cute, but I didn't like how it clashed with the red, so you'll see me change that here in a minute. That's a tag that I cut from the Cameo. I had that in my stash. And here's where I pull out a journaling card. This is from the Snap collection by Simple Stories. They're journaling cards. I really love the blue polka dot behind it. That happy memory is a digital stamp from Ali Edwards, and I got it online from Designer Digitals. These here are some die cuts from the Smash collection, and their chipboard ones are really thick and they're super cute. I've had them in my stash for a while and I never end up using them. And the reason why is most of them don't go with the theme of my page. Like the one you see sitting there, it says IOU, which obviously has nothing to do with watermelons. But I decided instead of worrying about if it goes with the theme or not, if I like it and I think it goes well, I'm just going to use it. So that's what I'm doing here. So I also chose that bucket list, which eating watermelon is not quite on my bucket list, but again, I thought it was cute. Those little bags are called mini bags, and I got them years and years ago, I believe from Michael's in the cards section. So now here you'll see that I decided to use a different page, and the reason why is I want to use some modeling paste in white, and I thought the contrast of the white would look better on a little bit deeper of a coral color. So I'm going through my stencils that I've cut out from cardstock and also transparency, and going to choose one of those to use. And I'm using Liquitex modeling paste. I got that from Michael's. I I made sure to use a coupon when purchasing it. So I'm just going to add some on. I'm not worried about it being perfect. And when you're done with it, you can scrape the rest back into the jar. It really does not take a lot. And it dries rather quickly. And it does not flake off. I've been asked if it flakes. It does not come off. So here I use a baby wipe and clean off my stencil and my applicator and make sure to close the jar real well because if you let it dry on there, it will not come off. Here I'm just using my smash pen to outline all the edges of my papers. I like using a ruler because I cannot draw a straight line. Even if I'm going for a little bit of a messy look, I will still use my ruler and just on the second swipe offset it a little to give it a little bit of a messy look because it would be terrible if I didn't. That paper right there with the bike, that was from my last smash book. I made sure to save the scrap that I had left because I liked it. So I'm using my heat gun just to make sure it's completely dry before working on it. And now in this video, you see I use several adhesives. The first one I'm using is my ATG gun. That one I don't tend to use as much because the tape is really expensive, so I try to conserve that. But the reason here, after I did put this strip down, I chose not to use it because I figured it needed something a little bit stronger to go over that modeling paste. So right here I use a wet glue. I use Scotch Quick Dry, which is my favorite wet glue. It dries completely clear and it's very strong. I use that whenever possible. I love that glue. And then on the rest of these papers, I use a double-sided tape, which is called Miracle Tape, and I get it from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. And it's comparable to score tape. It's very strong. Matter of fact, I end up taking off the tape on all of it, and I didn't mean to, and once it sticks, it's down, so I had to pull it up and it ripped a little. I'm using my Tim Holtz paper piercer to help take off the removable backing on that tape. Just makes it quicker. Here's where I had to rip it I wanted to get that bag behind it, but it's covered. You'll never see it, so it's okay. I'm just adding a little bit of glue behind everything to make sure everything's adhered down. And now I'm removing the rest of the tape backing from the main piece there. That's a scrap that I had left over. I had just designed those circles and welded them together on the cameo. So I thought I would add those to my page as well. And I'm using a little bit of crochet twine to add to the top of the tag. And I see that it was lifted up a little, so I will add a little bit of hot glue behind it just so it adheres quickly all the layers down while the wet glue is still drying. That's a bow that I had in my stash, and it goes really well with that blue polka dot paper. It's also from the Snap collection, so it's the same color blue, so I wanted to add that in there. And here I'm adding some enamel dots from Teresa Collins. Thanks so much for stopping by. I have some still photos coming up, and I appreciate you watching.